cross-out writing method, but also through random word selection out of already printed text. So without much further ado, let's get started. And if you are going to watch this on the playback, please feel free to increase the speed up to like 1.25 or 1.5 or whatever speed facilitates an ASMR sleep aid response. Okay, let's get going here. I got some practice pages. This is something I did last night. And so how you can make a cross out. This is just out of a tarot book on the Esoteric Tarot, I think by Ronald Deckard. But it doesn't really matter. I say that a lot, don't I? It doesn't really matter where it's from, because you can find poetry anywhere. And this is a way to write poetry when your writer's voice is shut down. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, I'm coming from a place where my free writer's voice is still kind of shut down from life. And that's one of the reasons I use methods like this to write, is because it opens doors in your brain so that you can see things from a new way. And occasionally in this process, a free verse poem will emerge from it. And so what I have done here is are some pages that I photocopied from a novel called Taken. It's kind of one of my favorite UFO sci-fi shows. I haven't actually read the novel yet. I've been trying to read it for a while. So this is the novelized version of the miniseries. I think that Steven Spielberg did about 20 years ago. I think it was more like 28 years ago now. But I'm just going to cut these things off. For those just dropping in, we're going to begin the writing process in just a moment. Feel free to say hi in the chat. Let's see if there's a way I can speed this up. Some of these pages are exactly the same. Already I can tell that this program is boring, which will make a wonderful sleep aid later in the day, but it may be that time in the day already for you. So this and a calm voice can help facilitate a relaxation response. And I think I want all of these blackened pages to come off. Isn't that a nice paper sound there? I like the paper sound. The cutting of a paper with scissors. The cutting of paper with a paper cutter, that crunching razor sound a paper cutter makes. Like that sound right there. So we're going to start here. And I have a lot of things that we can do. If you can afford to burn up a book, rather than just photocopying pages out of the book, if you can afford to burn up a book, then you can do things like this to the pages. And I actually haven't really done that yet. I've only seen it in books where they did just that. They burned up a book just to make poetry out of it. I think one of what I want to try, and I got this hankering to really try this, is we're going to try and take some random areas in here to select the poetry foam. And I'm going to use this compass here to find those random words. Maybe we'll use a colored pencil too. Blue. We'll use blue. And I need to use a pencil shaver here in order to get a better point going on. So we have a lot of choices. There'll be a lot of choices that are going to happen here in doing this. You know, because getting your writer's voice back, I am doing a writer's lab. We're working on showing ways that you can, methods you can do to write. That's what I'm doing right here. That's what the title says. But we are doing I'm using this compass here to create areas where we can find words on this page to hopefully write a poem. That's really what we're trying to do here. I'm going to put another circle here. And a third circle right over here. Maybe one off this direction. Like with, there's really no wrong answers on how to do this. We'll use this intersection here to find those words. All right, maybe, and so let's just go through this thing. I have a lot of clutter around me around my working area. Well, I'm going to take this and bring the page up a little closer to the camera. And and when you use this method, it is best to not read from the source material. And I want to express that doing a good cross-out form of writing is that the writing that comes off of the page, if it is vastly different from what the source material is, that So if you lift the words that you lift off the page, if those words reveal something totally different than what existed on the source material, that is where you know that you have a great cross-out poem. So maybe we take the word in vain. In vain. In vain he gave up his soul. The combination, the gloomy markings, the world, I'm going to take the Y off, the gloom, the combination, he gave up his soul empty. He gave up his soul empty, the combination, the gloom, the world. This much is mine. Knock the front door in the world. The front door. He listened. The proof brightly. He hit the switch. No. Shadows retreated. There we go. It's kind of in the circle. Shadows retreated. Shadows behind his desk. That's it. That's done here. So on this page, on page 210, in vain he gave up his soul empty. The gloom, the world, the front door, he listened. Question? Would that work? The question? He listened. The question? Shadows retreated behind his desk. He listened to the question. Brightly shadows, no. Shadows retreated behind his desk. And that's the end of it. So what we'll do briefly is I'm going to get a crayon and I'm just going to color out the back. And we're just briefly doing this. Blue. Do I want blue on the outside? Yeah, we'll do that. Blue. Blue, what are you doing? So we just want to get rid of all these words here because they're not important anymore. the unimportant words. The next step would be is we'll transfer these words to another piece of paper. Peeling. I like that word too. It's in the zone. Peeling, but I don't think it's the same word as P-E-E-L-I-N-G, but I'm going to change it to P-E-E-L-I-N-G. The front door, peeling. He listened to the question. The shadows retreated behind his desk. The switch. He listened to the question. The switch. No, it doesn't. That doesn't make sense, does it? So we are just going to take these ones and exist in this circle here. And making all of these words disappear. Isn't that some nice sounds there? This is kind of outside of it. Got these different regions. There's really no right way to do this, but decorating the page up just to make it, just to show that, just trying to make it your own. And that's really what we're doing here. Alright, now I'm going to take them in with a different color just to take out the rest of these words. This has got some good sounds here. In vain he gave up his soul, empty. The space, the combination, the gloom. I'm going to take that word too. The space, the empty, his soul, empty. The space, the combination, the gloom, the world, the world, the front door of the mind, peeling, peeling. He listened to the question. What is the question? I don't know. There is no answer forthcoming. The question. Shadows retreated behind the desk. Which desk? The writing desk. Shadows retreated behind the writing desk. So, I think at this point in time, and so I've been using tarot cards as sort of prompts and ways to gain ideas for doing poetry. The pictures, and the general meaning, but just to gain a little bit more. Look at that. I got that one last night. Knight of Rods. Fire, the earth. Maybe one more. One more. I think it needs one more. This one right here. A cup. So we have water, fire, the earth, elements. Maybe there'll be something here that we can use in order to change this skeleton into something else. Jump starting your imagination. Jump-starting your imagination. And this is a writing method here. We're using this as a writing method for your creativity, to increase creativity. How to take this here and transform it into something entirely other, or something more meaningful to you. So if you're just joining us, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Like this episode should you find it useful. You may not find it useful at all. Especially, I don't know what your story is. You can always leave a comment later about your story. So, I think I want to start with a completely fresh. Well, no. Yeah. No. No. Well, we got this page over here. So, we have the first line is in vain. In vain. He gave up his soul empty. The combination the gloom, the world, the front door, the front door, peeling I know that P-E-A-L-I-N-G is a different word than... Let's see what that word means. Actually, I don't really know what it means. P-E-A-L. I think it's similar to O-P. Appeal, like it's some fabric that comes right off of the... It comes into a ball, so P-E-A-L-I-N-G. See if I can get something out of that. I have to go to P-E, don't I? P-E... Where P-E... It's not here at all. No, it's not here. So let's see, peeling. I know what that peeling is. So it's like, it's going to have to change it to this. P-E-L-I-N-G. Peeling. He listened to the question. Shadows retreated behind his desk. I know this is a word that I would never normally use in poetry. In vain he gave up his soul to his job. In vain. In vain, in vain. He gave up his soul to a job. He gave up his soul to a job. I do not have it right here. He gave up his soul. He gave up. He gave up his soul for a job. For a job. For vanity's sake. For vanity. For vanity. For a house. For a car. His soul empty of his childhood dreams. His childhood dreams. He looks to the past at work. He looks to the past to undone work. To undone work. The earth, the gloom, the gloom. The gloom of the world, the gloom the gloom of the world outside his front door, the gloom of the world outside his front door. The paint peels, the paint peels on his car. He looks to tomorrow. He looks to tomorrow. He asking a question, asking a question to the sky, to the sky. At the office, at the office. Ghosts dance behind his desk. Ghosts dance around his desk. The shadow retreats into the shadow. Retreats as the sun sets on his dreams. As the sun sets on his dreams. Okay, so from here, plus these, I took that and I created a sort of a free verse poem, and I'll read it again here a little bit quicker. He gave up his soul for a job, for vanity, for a house, for a car, for a stock portfolio. Stock portfolio. His soul empty of his childhood dreams. He looks to the past to work undone. The gloom of the world outside his front door. The paint peels on his car. He looks to tomorrow, asking a question to the sky. At the office, ghosts dance around his desk. The shadow retreats as the sun sets on his happiness. Let's try that one more time. He gave up his soul for a job, for vanity, for a house, for a car, for a stock portfolio. His soul empty of his childhood dreams. He looks to the past to work undone, the gloom of the world outside his front door. The paint peels on his fancy car. He looks to tomorrow, begging a question, begging the sky for an answer. At the office, ghosts dance around his desk. The shadow retreats as the sun sets on his happiness. Okay, so you can see here, and that was just in less than like 30 minutes that from this came that free verse poem. So let's try something else. I am going to, this is a some pages from just a random magazine from like 2013. It used to be when you were going to submit your work, your writing to journals and so forth, you would get a writer's magazine or the writers, those things. And before the online time, you'd get places to send your poetry and your stories to. And this magazine is one of those such works. So in this next technique to use, you're going to choose like every 11 words. Well, let's just see if the tarot can choose how many words we should use, how many words we can use randomly. And so we'll just use the number on the cards as the guide. And so we'll just choose one of these cards at random, and what we have is the number 9. So every 9 words I will take and circle that word, and that word is going to be used in whatever poem or short story we write. Every 9 words. All right? So I'll just get a pencil, and we'll count out every 9 words. Should we just start with the first one? We'll start with the first one, which is scripture. We may or may not use the first words. The first word which in here is scripture. We'll start from there. 1. That's right. This pencil was absolutely no good because it kept breaking. The leads broke all the time. There we go. 1. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So should we just drop out those small little words? I think I'll bring back my thingamajig here. We'll bring back this and so I can bring it up closer to you. So I'm going to drop the small words out. So the next word to this would be extravagantly. So this is every 9 words. Every 9 words. Okay, every 9 words. And so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 absence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yard. There's going to be a lot of words. The yard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got this word money. 1, 2, 3. That's 9 over here. Uprooted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tree. 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A butterfly. That's a good word. Butterfly bush. 9. The birds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Guilty. That's a rich word, guilty. What could be richer than the word guilty? Guilty. For poetry, for religion, guilty. Climbed into bed. That's a great, man. I think I'm just going to take this, even though it's not part of the 9. Guilty. Climbed into the bed and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Three, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Passage. Passage is unusual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like many, many. Spare, many. Poets. Many poets. Well, we're writing about poetry, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. There's nothing there. We're gonna go to the next, the confessional. Self-erasure. What does this word mean? What does that word mean? Aphoristic. Things that happen to me. Focus. Focus. Things that happen. Doing it. Doing it. Nine, my poems. My poems, doing it. Lounging. Lounging. Winter afternoon. Shocked. Okay, I'm just gonna do that one column because there was actually a lot of there was a lot of words there, so I'm gonna be coming into exercise 2. This one here is every 9 words. Scripture. It's best to not think when you do this. Thinking will oftentimes destroy that creativity, that raw creativity that you can get from this. I'm going to take this extravagantly and we have, that's what the word is, but I think it needs to so this isn't going to make sense until we go through and rewrite it. Absence. Absence. The yard. The patio. I'm going to put in here money, uprooted, tree, couple, butterfly bush, the birds, guilty, climbed, climbed into bed, guilty, climbed into bed, alternate, pulled down, passage, is unusual, passage is unusual, many poets, the confessional, self erasure. That's actually an interesting concept. Self erasure. Self erasure. Erasing yourself. I really don't know what this word means. aphoristic. Aphoristic. Doing it. My poems. Lounging. Winter afternoon. Shocked. So from here, I'm going to go in and see if I can get some, other than this one over here, which was my, I'm going to go for 2 more prompts in order to form every 9 words into, so that we can have some more ideas to add to it for writing the poem. Well, actually, I'm going to put this back, because just you never know. Three cards. So I got like 30 or 40 minutes left. So we're talking about with the writing techniques so far, and I think I'll go back and do one like we did at the beginning. So 3 cards. We're going to take this one in the middle, this one off the bottom, and this one off the top. And these are our prompts for the second poem. So this one was in the middle one first. Oh, look at that. But you know, we don't need to do upside downs here. We know they are upside down. Knight of Swords and choices. Actually, that's not bad. So concept-wise, we can look at choices, love, choices. Yeah, let's rearrange that. Love, choices, and so we want to form these words here into something here. We got love, choices, extravagantly, extravagant, absence, the yard, the patio, money, uprooted, tree, couple, butterfly bush, the birds, guilty, climbed in the bed, alternate, pull down, passage is unusual, many poets, the confessional, self erased, the confessional erased the self, the, the confessional erased the self. So when you're using this method, as you could see in using this method of writing, that it's not an act of plagiarizing or anything. You're just trying to gain. You're jump starting your own creative voice by using something else, as a prompt. And so, like, these are there's ideas and concepts in these tarot cards which we are using as prompts, prompting your imagination. So the confessional erased the self. Money, the butterfly bush, the money. The confessional erased the self. The confessional erased the self. Lovers. 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 Made a choice. Made a choice. Made a choice. Lovers made a choice. And look at that. This is actually pretty amazing because extravagance, and we pulled the word extravagance out of that page. Isn't that interesting? How that sometimes happens? Knight of Swords in reverse is extravagance, meeting opposition, brave. Lovers made a choice between an extravagant lifestyle and just extravagant lifestyle. The confessional erased the self. Lovers made a choice between an extravagant lifestyle and a simple life and a simple life. A simple life. The confessional lovers made a choice between an extravagant lifestyle and a simple life. So where we have that extravagant lifestyle, we have money, we have or a butterfly bush, birds, nature, unusual. I don't know what this aphoristic, what that means. I wonder if my dictionary, it probably doesn't have it in there. APHOR. Oh, there it is. Pithy, pithy maximum. A aphorism differs from an adage in that it is more philosophical or scientific. Okay. Huh. So I'm not quite a pithy maximum. So it's like a pithy maximum. What does maximum mean? You know, I should know all of this stuff, but you know what? We know what we know. And that's all that's important. That's what dictionaries and crap are for, is to help fill in the blanks of what we don't know. Maxim. A proverb. Okay. A proverb or a fable. So it is a fable, a story. So pithy story. I like this concept of the confessional erase the self. Lovers made a choice between an extravagant lifestyle and a simple life in the country. But actually, to be a good poem, you want it to be more feeling, get to go more emotional, to bring out more of an emotion here. Maybe kind of like this ocean scene I painted last night, about 12 hours ago. That brings out some emotions, doesn't it? Sand in the distance, calm waters. That sound almost sounds like the ocean, right? Huh? Listen carefully, and you can hear the ocean. Rising and falling, water is water. The confessional erased the self. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. The confessional erased. How did the confessional erase the self? The confessional erased the self. A choice between love of money, stability, or love of a simple life. 2 and 2 is 4. The confessional erased the self. A choice made blindly or with eyes wide open. A choice. Eyes wide shut. A choice. Eyes wide shut. Love. The love of money. A choice. Eyes wide shut. A choice. A choice. Eyes wide shut. Between two realities. A choice between eyes wide shut between two realities. A choice between two realities. Let's try this again. Okay. It looks like I lost the stream here a second ago. So this has been happening all day. Is there solar energy going on right now that's affecting the internet? Is there solar energy going on right now? Flares, activity, lights in the sky causing the internet to be disrupted? A choice, eyes wide shut between two realities. Emotion, flare, energy. A tree was uprooted. A choice between eyes wide shut. A choice was made. A choice, eyes wide shut between two realities. A world uprooted. A world uprooted. Uprooted. A tree fallen down. A fallen tree. A world uprooted. A fallen tree roots up. Roots to the sky. Clouds pulled, confessing secret, confessing secrets, fables told, fables, scriptures made new, love, scriptures made new, as the poet Henry David Thoreau said that every generation should make its own scriptures. Fables, stories, mythologies, myths, scriptures made new for a new generations, scriptures made new, alternative to the scriptures, to yesterday's love, stories about the absence of guilt in the garden, Eve was never guilty. Stories of guilt in the Garden of Eve. In the garden, Eve was never was never Eve was never guilty. She was framed by a jealous God, by a jealous God, a jealous God. She was framed by a jealous God to bear the evils of man, the evils of man. The God climbed onto the God. The God climbed onto the bed made for Adam. The bed made for Adam. How about that? The confessional erased the self, a choice. Eyes wide shut between two realities, a world uprooted, a fallen tree, roots to the sky, clouds pulled down over eyes, confessing secrets, fables, stories, myths, scriptures made new, alternative to yesterday's love, stories about the absence of guilt, the abs in the garden. Eve was never Eve was never guilty. She was framed by a jealous God to bear the evils of man. The God climbed into the bed made for Adam. How's that poem? And that poem was generated from these words that I took from a page out of a magazine, Every 9 Words. And so we used this technique here, and that was Every 9 Words, but still it's using source materials. And I use these tarot cards as prompts, and so we're going to just write those prompts down for my future note. So it's 2 of Cups, 2 of Swords, Knight of Swords. There are different ways that this could go as well. Let's put them back in here. I have about 30 minutes left of the lights, and so we're going to do another cross out. In last weekend, I did this painted book, and these are some cutout poems, and there are some other cross-out poems too. And last Wednesday, a fellow from the middle of the United States suggested that I do every 17th word, so I need to attribute this every 11th word poem to this fellow here. That's his channel name. TWIZTIDYOURNUTZ. And I'll read the poem here. A card informs, creating hosts, one's overall beliefs donated, started, start. All are great elements, such components, soil grown, accommodating, states of being, on the bright side, attitudes, an apple escapes knowledge, a clinical review of another prime realm. So this is this book. I was going to do this on one of these Sunday Writers Labs, but I couldn't do it. So I did it last weekend. Okay. And now we're going to go take another one of those pages. And one of these pages here and do a cross out. Maybe we'll use this one here. And we're just... So we did the cross out. We did pulling words out. So let's try... We're just going to take phrases and see what we can come up with. I think I need to bring this thing closer up to the camera. I'm going to just pull phrases out and we'll use those. There's not much word choices here, but sometimes those will generate the best kinds of inspiration. Review. No, let's try this other side. Over 60, bang. Bang, I like, that's a good word. Bang. Bang. Human face. The human face. Bang. The human face. The mare, the Marie. The Marie, I like the mare better because it's like a horse. Anthology. Fiction. Emphasizing our lives. Fiction. Emphasizing our lives. Confronting. Good word. Confronting. Seeking. Confronting. A job, a lover, seeking. Submission. Submit. Minor arcana. The minor mysteries. Submission. Press. Submission. Press. Minor arcana. Let's see if by chance, if I pull one of these cards, if it will be reflective of what comes on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, I think I tried this the last time. We are going to shuffle. I'm going to pull one card and put it aside and see if that card represents the energy of this last piece that we do for today. This is 999 ASMR Tarot. It is such an empty world this afternoon. I'm going to take this and put it over here. For the great reveal will happen soon after we write all these words down. So we have about 15 minutes And we'll see if we can do it in 15 minutes or less. Many of the best poems are written fast. You know, I got this egg timer. Maybe we'll take this over here and we'll use it to, we'll use that to, anyway, to quicken this process up of finding words and phrases to make this poem. Sigh, swan sigh, the sigh, the blue light, house, blue light, swan sigh, cutting down the metal, 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 jazzy people, jazzy, unknown, collaged poems, jazzy, unknown, collaged sound poems. Anthologies, books, muse, the muse, the muse, muse. Impetor, require a purchase, require, who require submission, submission. Religion requires submission. The cult requires submission. Looking, looking, looking with leading edge. All right, let's just write some of these down. See what we got. I'm just gonna write them down and then I'm gonna rearrange them later. The first word was, we had, I'm gonna better sharpen the pencil. Used about 3 minutes of time so far. I'll turn the egg turner over once I get the words done, and then we will use it that way. So we got bang, 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 bang. The human face, the human face. Veterans, veterans. The mayor, that submission, submission. The minor arcana, Marcana, superhero, superhero, superhero mythology, the superhero myth, muse, muse illustrated, new lesbian superhero myth, muse illustrated, new lesbian fiction, emphasizing lives, confronting a job, a lover, seeking 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 metal, seeking metal, seeking metal, looking leading edge, the word blue light, the blue light zone, blue light, swan, SCYTHE, swan sky, sigh, it is the swan sigh, jazzy, KNOW, unknown, collage, sound, poem. Okay. So those words were just pulled and lifted right off this page. And so the next step is we're just going to use these words here to create a new poem. We've lifted the words off the page. I'm just going to see how fast we can do it in. So it's important to talk things out loud, because that helps to facilitate the creative process. And that's what this writing lab is all about. But this is something that you can do. You talk it out loud and you listen to your own voice. Through that talking out loud, you can create something new. And as I showed you how easy it is to pull words off of a page. It doesn't really matter. You can do the newspaper, wherever. It just has to have enough words on there that that might be marginally interesting. However, I have created a poem using a tax document before, so I can tell you, you can use literally any printed uh, material. However, you will never find a poem if in your heart and in your mind you are not open to find one. So this is all, we're finding poetry in our environment. And finding poetry is a way to jumpstart your creative voice, your writer's voice. And because oftentimes in our life, that voice gets shut down. It gets shut down by job, by employment, by life, by circumstances of life. And maybe you never thought about writing before, but you can. You've had an idea that like lots of people, they want to write a novel, they want to do these things in their life, but then they keep kicking the can down the road because of life, because life gets in the way. But what I'm trying to say is that if you have the desire to create with words, this is a technique that you can utilize in order to do it. When you do not feel that muse, that burning inspiration, that fire within to spit those words out like a machine gun fire. Da 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 da. Because sometimes it works that way. Sometimes poetry just spits out of you word by word by word by word like a machine. But that doesn't always happen. But when it does, you need to capture those words as they come out of you, talking them out loud, talking these words out loud, and capture them onto a blank page. And later you can go back over those words and turn them into something else. Writing stream of consciousness, writing out of your mind without first thinking, bypassing the thinking stage and just put it down. And that is a very important step. And that's what we are going to do right now. We are going to take these words that we collected, and we're going to put them down over here and try to make something new, and hopefully before the sand runs out. The mare, the horse, submission, submit, seeking metal, confronting a job. Sound poems, pop, 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 pop. Sound poems, sound like this. Sound poems, sound it out loud like a human face writing. Sound it out loud. Sound it out loud like a human face writing. A mare into a battle for submission. For submission. The muse was a job. A job. The muse was a job. In the blue light zone. The muse was a job in the blue light zone. Superhero myth, a superhero myth told by a lover, a lesbian, no, 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 told by a lover. A jazzy pop, pop, pop sound collage, a jazzy pop, 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 a jazzy sound, a jazzy pop, pop, pop sound collaged into an a story, into a story, illustrating a mystery covered up, a mystery covered up, up by grass cut from cut from a sigh. The swan looked to the metal sign and flew into a human face. Okay, so there we have it. The muse was a job in the blue light zone, a superhero myth told by a lover, a jazzy pop, pop, pop sound collaged into a story illustrating a mystery covered up by grass cut from a sigh. The swan looked to the metal sign and flew into a human face, transformed, emphasizing, transformed into a fictional life, transformed, emphasizing a fictional life. And there it is. And let's uncover this card and see what it is. The Chariot. Moving forward. Related, but maybe you can see it. Maybe I'll see it later. But we are at 95 minutes right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is the 999 ASMR Tarot Writing Lab. Sunday Writing Lab. And we worked on techniques to jumpstart your creativity in, I guess we not 90 minutes, in 90 minutes or more today. So it was like 95 minutes. We just did essentially the same things. But we used Tarot. I use magazine words. I use words from the printed page, and we use time loosely. We use time loosely to guide us, but you know, the time ran out. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and have a blessed week. Good day to you. Bye-bye.